Repeat after me. I will be sucker free. You've entered the listening zone. Sucker Free Sunday podcast with Cloudy J and Avoya.
You know what? Wait, hold.
What?
Digital Underground. Before we go to Nas, real quick, right?
Go.
So, you know who one of the, I believe, writers of that song was?
No. Wait. Yes, I do. Oh,
Yeah, you do.
I do.
George Clinton.
Oh no, I didn't then.
Yep, George.
You know
Clinton.
what? I thought that
I'm pretty sure he co-wrote that.
I haven't heard the song since probably the 90s, and when I was listening to it early today, immediately I P-Funk. I was like,
Yeah, exactly.
because Quest has been spinning P-Funk and Funkadelic for like the past 2 weeks. So it's all the boom, psh, boom, 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 it's all in my head, you know.
So as Jason says this, can I just keep going on this real quick with this down this rabbit hole? Oh, it's my show.
So on it.
Hilarious.
Go.
So we talked about George Clinton just a moment ago, and I believe you could check me, like make sure to fact check me, that he co-wrote that song or had definitely something to do with it. Smoking Grooves, I think it was 1997. Were you there?
Oh, of course I was there.
Okay, so the Roots were here.
First time I met Black Thought.
Okay, so here we go. So the Roots were here. George Clinton was here.
Yeah.
George Clinton was on stage, being George Clinton, crawling around on stage. So me and my buddy are walking out of the amphitheater because I told my buddy, I was like, man, I can't be doing too much of this with him crawling around because he on one. And so we're walking out, and this guy calls out. He's like, hey, I look over to my left, and he's like, he gives me a head nod. And I'm like, yeah, what's up? And I walk over to him, and he puts his arm around me. African-American guy puts his arm around me. And I was like, okay. He's like, where you going? Same thing I just told you. I was like, well, I'm not really feeling this. Like, go have a seat, man.
That's right. Thank you.
He goes, this, you know who this is? I was like, yeah, I know George Clinton. He's like, this is a pioneer.
Thank you.
He's paved the way for everybody you see here today. And I was like, okay. And he kept talking. And I was like, wait a second. I was like, this is Questlove. Questlove sat next to me, arm around me, and gave me up about George Clinton. And from that day forward, I've met and been everywhere with a bunch of artists, blah, blah, blah. We can name drop it. It makes no difference. I try to take my time to see where people are coming from, right? So he took his time and he cared enough. And so to see his progression from that moment, he was already a rising star, but from that moment, I'm just like, yo, you'll always have me as a fan because I was just a punk kid, who liked what I liked and just kept it moving. But, now I like to think I'm more eclectic. So there you go. So from George Clinton, you talk about Quest spinning, and Quest actually, he took his time. So.
No, but that's important too. I think it's important that when we see people not feeling something that's necessary in their life, because the funk is necessary for our lives. It just
that's
is.
That's it.
Word.
Yep.
You gotta let them know. I mean, even if it feels uncomfortable, I'll do it. Look. And I love that people want to leave shows early because they don't want to see particular. I'm like, then I just need to tell you why we should be here. Because it's not just about hanging out with people and drinking and music. It's it's so important, and we gotta, school folks sometime.
That's it.
For you, Quest.
There you go. Thanks, Quest.
Yeah.
So
then we're that 17-year-old with the red backpack stay too. Like, excuse you.
That's it. Man, yeah, that just helped start the evolution of the guy that you see in front of you. So
you got a lot of guardian angels out there, Steven. Sounds like.
I do, man. I say it all the time. Like, I live a charmed life. I mean, you take bumps along the way, but I've been blessed, man. I really have, just with the interactions. So it's funny that a guy from Fresno, California, by way of civil war in Africa, gets a chance to do as much as I've been allowed to do. And when people say like, "Hey, you can't write a book, nobody's gonna pay attention to you. You can't be a poet. You're not in this vein of poetry." I kind of just sit and laugh at people, and I'm like, man, you don't know who you're dealing with or where I've been and what I've seen and what I'm about to do. So let's just keep it moving. But